welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. Today we're talking about moving from your parents' home straight into your home. And Tiana says this: I skipped and I regret, or rather should I say I suffered immensely. Felt too exposed. Imagine starting life on your own at 34 years. I had no clue what to look for when house hunting, didn't know where to buy furniture, which electronics brand was good, because all my life someone else did it for me. I always called my brothers to help out, very confusing. Many times I lived in fear, yet I knew kurudi home was not an option. But over the years, I have since grown tremendously. Then there's one who says, Gina, naomba tusaidiwe. I am asking for help. What of us in parents' homes and we are able to choose? It's not like we can't move out, but working out criteria, you get lost, you come back, you're paying rent. Can I pay rent for 3 houses just because of personal growth? Kindly answer me this, and I stand to be corrected. So this is the conversation, and we can see the conflicting emotions. One says, I wish I had moved out earlier, I would have known how to just be by myself, get things for myself. The other one is like, I don't understand it, I'm okay, I can buy, I have money, I have work, but it just works out perfectly if I'm living at my mom's house.
There's another objection I want to start with, which I found quite surprising to appear in this century.
Okay.
Some people are saying that, no, if women live alone, they'll never get married. If they stay alone, they start getting children.
See, defenses up. Who are you talking about?
It's that's a concept of animal husbandry.
Isn't that in agriculture?
Yes. There are men who still want to see women like livestock. Which should be contained in a certain path. If you still think that way, you're in another era, you are asleep. Women have the freedom to self-determine. We are advocating this part of freedom for the woman to self-determine. Not to be moved from one man, the father, to another man, the husband. Women have a reason to live, they're human. They have a cause to live. And I told you God favored women so much, but it's not preached. The first evangelist was a woman. Go and tell my disciples that I have risen.
Yes.
Was Mary Magdalene being sent?
Yes.
When in the Garden of Eden, God said the seed of the woman will crush your head, the devil started looking for boys to kill them. So God would hide his mission in women. He brought both the forerunner of the Messiah and the Messiah into women, and they met and started singing songs.
Yeah.
There are many times when God hides his purpose in women, because women have more nurturing. They have things that God gave them that serve for this calling. Hannah the prophetess was in the temple praying for the coming of the Lord. From the time she was young, she had been married only 7 years, and those times they would be married when they were very young. So you can imagine before that, she's living in temple, and now she's 84. Probably 50 years and more for the Messiah, coming of the Messiah. If you sit to read out, Deborah was a mother and a wife in Israel and went out to fight and save the whole country. The Bible they preach to put women down is not this one. We don't have bishops who are women unless they start their own church. If you have Teresia started her own church, maybe.
Yes.
But the mainstream churches, no. I asked you how far we are before we have a female pope or your own church. Don't tell me but any church, the one you come from. How soon before we have a female bishop? So, the mighty men of David, the Abishai, the Asahel, the 3 mighty, they were sons of a woman, Zeruiah. But you don't hear that part emphasized. Because we can't bring the discussion of a single woman. How are we going to put it in place? How are we going to contain them? Those who are asking when women stay alone, they'll start having children. That's our decision, right?
Yes.
And I asked you the other day why we separate boys into boys' school and girls' school. Give me one logical advantage.
The ones they told us, I'm the one that I can come up with now. Because
Where are you looking for background?
Because we're just like, I was told this is where and this is what we did.
None is presentable. It was animal husbandry. Separate them lest they mate.
That's true. That was the main reason, no?
We were not preparing us for the world because the world is mixed. The world is mixed. Universities are mixed. One reason they mess up university. This is the first time they're with the opposite gender. Did you notice kids from mixed schools were not excited to go to games and meet the opposite? They had been with them here.
Yeah.
They were not looking for every chance to step out and behave like goats. Sometimes they would put things in food to suppress the libido of children because they have...
Yeah.
Schools like Kabarak are nationally mixed, but that fact is quieted. To look like nationals are only boys or girls, alliance boys, alliance girls. And when you go to schools that have adopted the idea of preparing children for the real society,
Yeah.
it's more work, but it's more real. Allowing your daughter to live alone is more work, it involves risk,
Yeah.
but it's more real. There are parents who refuse their children. You'll only live here when you're going to your own home. This is to us men. Our daughters need to find their path. They need to find themselves. I don't want my girl to be a shadow of me and has no convictions, no energy, no assertiveness, no path for life, and she has to consult on every decision. I want a girl who has the right values, who I can show morals, who I can show example, and release her to fight in the field of our generation. Because when David had served God in his generation, he rested with his fathers. My children will not serve my generation, they will serve God in their generation. I'm preparing them for their generation, and they should go and be among to the battlefield of their generation. I'm in the battlefield of my generation. We will meet somewhere.
Yeah.
We'll be meeting as parents, but we are two different generations, and we know that very well. I want to prepare them to show up like I showed up fully in my generation. Show up fully in my generation. Learn the consequences of choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's allow daughters, even if I live in town, I don't want my girl to stay with me all through. No. At some point, you have a degree now. How about you get a good house to assist you to set up? Visit us weekend if you miss us. But please learn how to move around.
Yeah.
How will you move around the city if we're always dropping you, sending a driver? If we are covering everything, we are looking for the attachments for you, calling a friend to employ you, calling the other one to carry you, calling the other one to give you internship. At what point will you know the world is not that sheltered? My lecturer would release her children like that, and one was caught up in those chaos in the matatus. And she texted on Facebook that she was stuck in a matatu, and there was riot. And so the friends from all over the world, the relatives, started bashing this. Why are you exposing that girl to what if? You told her, give me a break.
Please.
She's no longer in my womb, for God's sake.
No, she's not.
She's in the world. I cannot.
That's the truth.
And now she's handling her using the wisdom I said.
Yeah.
Maintain calm. Don't always jump on emotions because the crowd is going this way. And she came home safe.
Yeah.
She said, no, we are living here and she must learn how to live here. I'll protect you where I can, but neither will I shelter you from reality.
Yeah.
We are not in the same generation. And in the order of nature, I should die ahead of you. If I die, will you also die? In the order of nature,
Yes.
if all goes well,
Yeah.
I was born ahead of you and I should die ahead of you.
Yeah.
How will you live without me? What will you give your own children? What example will you pass?
Yeah.
Your daughter will one day be a mother. Your son will one day be a father. What are you training? What baton are you handing them? Can we stop this degrading, demeaning language of saying when women are left alone, they'll give birth? They are humans who can choose the life they want.
Absolutely.
And if she messes around, gets pregnant, assist where you can, but let her carry what she have. Some people have to fall once to avoid falling 10 times. Have you to go?
Okay.
So the immunization, I'm told, the science of immunization is to inject you with the real virus
Aha.
of what they're trying to protect you from.
All right.
But a weak one. Actually,
Yes.
they immunize you against polio by looking for a real polio virus. Now, they make a weakened one and put it
Yes.
inside your body
Uh-huh.
so that your body can see how polio looks like and manufacture defense for the grown-ups. The children look this way. So the grown-ups will be stronger versions of this.
Yeah.
So let's manufacture defense. That's how it works. It's not always every day that we learn through bad mistakes.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to show children so that they see their friends mess up.
Absolutely.
They come to you for advice. When you allow children freedom, even if you live in the city and they are working over there, they will be tempted not to say them, because if you say I'm moving out, does it mean we are mistreating you? No.
Yeah.
It's time for that.
That's
There are
true.
seasons of life. You get the house the other side. We don't mind helping you set up. You can visit us as often you want. This is always your home. But the world is waiting for you.
Yeah.
And there's something you need to give the world, which you can't give here. Here, this is our space. Your mother is ordering what is being cooked. You need a home where you can decide what is being cooked, how it's being cleaned, how the neighborhood looks like.
Yes.
You need a place where you can learn to order around, so that one day you give your daughters that. If we keep you here until we are handing you over to another mother or another husband, what will you give to your own children? Some people are so half-baked because we shelter too much. We shelter too much. It's not just about, we have a house, save rent. So that person is asking, I don't want to pay too much rent. We answered in another show.
Yeah.
We said, when you pay your own rent, you're not paying rent, you're paying school fees for development.
Ooh, yes.
We used other words, but we said the same. There's a phase of life where it's not fees you're paying to a university.
Yes. Yes.
You pay the cost of your freedom.
Uh-huh.
We mentioned degrees of freedom. When you live in the same space with your parents, you have respect for them.
Yeah.
And you limit yourself from doing some things.
Yes.
Psychologically, you're not free. And we talked about movement-wise, you're not free. The family has traditions. So the one who is talking about, I live among this, let's remind you that this is not rent anymore. When you're paying to live alone, it's the cost of freedom. It does not have to be a big house. It does not have to be prestigious. It rhymes with where you are.
Yes.
And we said many times, a mattress on the floor is the beginning. Every time. You don't stay there, but you can start there.
Yes. That's true.
Be very comfortable to say there are times you can't welcome friends because you know. So that when one day a person tells you they're sleeping on the floor, you can tell, I relate.
Yeah.
Of course, us who as children want to give them a bed to start life with. But we know we can't give them the standard they need.
Yeah.
After we give them, even if you have given them a simple bed, they know one day that will be the lowest they ever slept on. They will take themselves to king size, to better neighborhoods.
Yes.
Take themselves,
Yeah.
One time I saw a boy selling uji porridge in the university, and he was the only son of the national government pathologist.
Yeah. Why?
The only child of a senior government official who could get any car to come to school with. That boy was very wise. And I still remember him honorably. He said, I'm practicing to make my own coins. I'm doing what I should do. I'm learning life. And he learned such strict wisdom that even when he went out there, it is helping him in a way he did not know. My own friend who came from the well-to-do families in community
Yeah.
would sell funny things in school. He's selling food to schools, and I see him hustling, running.
Yes.
And the father would give him capital. He takes it as a loan. He buys, brings back to dad. Okay, keep it. Just hold it for me. Next, dad, I got another deal. Use what I gave you. So he circulated until he's uncomfortable because holding dad's money. But dad to hold the money. Finally, he told him, you see, I can't give you a loan, you're my son.
Oh, wow.
I just acted like a loan so that you can behave responsible.
Yes.
It's yours. Go on with life now. I'm happy you've learned. The boy was shocked. So he went shopping for a contract, got the deal. Dad financed it as a loan. Then he just after it, finally, Dad, here's my, okay, hold it for me. Just stay with it. The next day, he cycled until he has grown. Dad, now I no longer need your capital. Well, of course, you're my son. I was trying to help you start with life.
Oh, my God.
Today, he's such a mogul, businessman.
Yes.
Because of the mentorship I saw. Did Dad tell him, no, if they see you apply for tenders, what will they say of me?
Yeah.
You know, of course they know you're my son and they know, but now you have to carve your own path in life.
That's true.
He told me he made many mistakes. Some of those capitals will disappear.
Yes.
He did not do prudence to know these people don't pay.
Yeah.
Goes for a whole year.
Yes.
So he said, I lose this. He tops me up and we are adding up the loan. And one day my business peak. Nice working.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you've learned. That was the idea. You know?
Yeah.
I said, how wonderful it is to let your child swim like that
Absolutely.
into the world and release them. And so let's now come to now moving directly What is wrong? One thing that is wrong is if you move from one sheltered environment
Mm-hmm.
to another sheltered environment,
Yeah.
you have not learned the flavor of shelter you would have wanted on your own.
That is very true. I have designs.
Thank you.
Oh.
If you come from one house that was designed from, it may not be even a physical house, just that authoritative environment.
Yes.
That you are under authority here and an authority there. Even if you are a man, that space of moving from this to another, that you are not exclusive, has omitted your own input to what kind of house environment would I like. And don't joke with choosing between LG TV and Sony TV. It may look small. The difference may be negligible.
Yes.
You may not remember what TV you saw in my house.
Yes.
But me, I can't forget. I know why I chose this and not that.
Yeah.
And because in the process of choosing, I inquired so much, I have a few ideas about what next, what better, what is the technology there, what's evolving there. But if I have a child, I may not involve them too much in it because it's my space. So when I am a child in a home, I know these decisions were not mine. I may have contributed. So I want a space where, no, I don't know why my parents always used blue carpets. I've always wanted grey carpets. Let me try a grey one. Then I bring a grey one, it's getting dirty, I'm cleaning. Oh, so there's a thing with the grey. After all, the blue is okay. I've settled on the same color with a different reason.
Yes. Yes.
Out of experience.
Yes.
So my ideas that were floating and true and proven, now they've been exposed to reality. The first reason you need your own home before the marital home.
Yeah.
After family of origin, before family of marriage, you want your own single home.
Absolutely.
Which may not have a lot of compound because you're starting, but it allows you to tailor it to your taste and develop ideas about what you prefer. One woman, one girl moved that way, straight from her family to getting married.
Okay.
And her mother used to cut fish into two every time she was frying it.
Yes.
So she went home and started cutting it also into two.
Okay.
And the husband could understand, what is this cutting?
Yeah.
No, my mother always cut like that. That's the method. I think that's how it gets cooked better. Mom, so and so always, you see, my frying pan was small.
It was a lie. All these years. It wasn't a cooking style.
So you need your space to know
Yeah.
your own style. In fact, I was surprised with some of the foods they cook in your home is not your favorite.
That's true.
Your mom is frequenting what her and the
They
husband
like, yes.
and the children, and to grow into
Hey.
that and somehow eat what is being cooked.
No. Giberi is a no.
And yet that's my favorite. You as a child feeling now, why is us and dad and mom we had a culture before you were born.
Yes.
And we always say so you need a space where you can move to rice.
Yes.
To spaghetti.
Yes.
And cook.
No giberi.
So you critically need that. And I told you another time that when you stay alone and you're not asking for permission to go out or permission to reporting where you came back at this time, you learn the essence of rules of life.
Yes.
That there are dangers out there, there are thieves out there, that there's particular streets. But you hear life. Now you're not just scared by instructions. Don't do this. Don't do this. You hear from life and hear cases and hear. So in fact, what if your parents, by the time they brought you up, they were already in Runda? You're wondering, why are we separated from my friends or in Eastlands? They look like they have a group life. They have such a fun there. So you're in Runda and you're still longing for Riru, and you don't know what is it. Maybe it was just preference. So many trees here. We have trees here. But is that the difference? What is it? When you have time to live with friends from Eastlands now,
Yes.
They tell you the rate of crime, how people are mugged easily, how there's dust, how there's traffic. Oh my God, is that the life? So that's why people, you guys are lucky. Let me tell you, my friend, we wasted time on the road. You did not waste so much time on the road. Thank God. I've had phones snatched. Too
No
much
water.
Drainage is bad, dusty. Please, even politically, there's so much tension. You don't have your own space. There's theft, robbery. Oh my God, is that so? Then one day you tell your mom, thank you so much. Today I was talking to my friend. I saw another life you guys saved us for.
Yes.
Now you understand. Thank you very much.
Yes.
What if I sheltered you and refused you from hearing it? You know, we visited our friend there, and I could not believe how tiny the house is, and they live like that. You know, I couldn't talk, but is that how they live? Me and your mother started like that. That's where we migrated you from. You dare not mess up and go back there. You won't survive. There's something you see when you have removed from the roofing of your parents.
Yes.
While they're still there socially to support you, emotionally to support you, financially even need be, they also need to give you the freedom. So the one thing you acquire is your flavors, your taste, your style, your input, your personality. You buy seeds of the color you wanted. You get conned by fundis. You learn they con people.
Yes, right.
Now, you wonder why your mother always wanted a Victoria furniture? And yet it's being sold 3 times more expensive than Kamau's hardware. When I bought at Kamau's, it was only 15,000. Why are you guys paying 95,000? Look, my seat is still okay. Then within a month, you see it goes down with you. Say, oh my God, why is it so?
This is why.
How much did you pay again? 50. These people are so dishonest. Let me go back to Victoria's. Mom, now I understand. So I'm using furniture just for illustration. You learn why your mom was so much into LG or Samsung. Everything in our house is LG. I had tried other things and they couldn't last me. These other fridges would flood the house when power goes out. So I learned Samsung has one that is anti-flood. So, oh my God, me too. Mom, I saw it today. There are things you learn when you experience them on your own. The second reason is because when you choose the direction of your life and you are choosing from a sheltered climate, you are likely to be influenced by their preferences. They always wanted to be a doctor. They always spoke lawyering into you. They spoke journalism into you so much. When you choose direction, you're likely to respect that. Okay? Because no other voices are reaching you too much.
Okay.
When you go out there in between, let's differentiate this. By that time you have graduated, you are working.
Yes.
So we may talk about career choice. I've already chosen career. Degree is only a starting point. When you live alone, you are able to see other career directions by experience. You just happened to travel to work with a person of another career. You sat to evening with a person of another field. You saw them doing things that intrigued you so much. And you don't know what is it about the knitting they're doing, which is not even that lucrative career, but they're knitting mats, and you're so intrigued. Now you're researching mats, knitting machines, you're researching checking, and you learned it so quickly, you picked it quickly, you brought that, look what I knew. Is it you did it? Where did you learn this? You know, my friend, my colleague at work does it, taught me. This is wonderful, continue, see how much more you can do. Oh my God, I got the machine, I got the designs. Now I have a side hustle of... Where did that come from? Having been in a space with a neighbor who was always displaying a lot of mats. Neighbor who always said this. It influences your career choice before you settle in a fixed family situation. You can always change your career even when you are in a family, but the cost is higher.
That's true.
The things you have to adjust are many. When you drive a trailer, a huge transit machine, you don't change, you don't negotiate roundabout the same way.
No, you don't.
Like when you're driving a personal car. Personal car just spin.
And you go.
But the guy who has a huge, has to calculate, warn people, he leaves a space. I told you that madness of Kenyans. The big guy is going this way to leave space here for his trunk.
But then what do?
You think there is space, you come here. And I've seen that, I don't know why it is so common. The guy puts signals, but you don't pay attention to them.
No.
That he's turning. So if he's going here, you first go that way. Because a trunk will be here, the head will go this way. He's leaving space for his trunk. And you live now. I saw one guy almost knocked. And you know, you're coming to his blind spot. He can't see that tiny thing. I said, how often in life you have already become a trailer? You need a lot of negotiation to turn. You have family now. You have demands now. You have bills now. It was easier to make these serious turns before you trail anything behind you. Trail children, trail bills. You have to calculate for them. If I turn here, will this space for... Even reversing those big things, a headache. Because the head will go this is the first trailer, then the other one. So putting them in tiny spaces. You need that space when you don't have trailers.
Yes.
To make the critical turns.
Yeah.
And decide on the route you are going before you acquire a trail. You have a tail to follow. So the third reason that I want to discuss today is we say these lessons are build-ups.
Yes.
And we don't mind it looking like a series with slightly different wording and topics, because our areas of life are never that different. It's the depth to which you understand.
That's true.
It's how much you grasp the rules. And remember, what you hear is not what changes your life. It's what gives you light, understanding. Remember we said wisdom and understanding shall be the stability of your days. You are stable according to how much you know. If your life is unstable, it's because of something you don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
I was telling people in the morning, and my wife was telling me, this is too much English, can you dilute it? I was telling them. You know, she waits for the audience.
Yes.
So
yes.
I have a lawyering background. We have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Our tools of trade were words, and we could not differentiate what is common language for people and what is our own jargon. So you prove your prowess by the jargon you can master. Damnum sign injuria, damage without injury.
What would happen if you just say damage without injury? Damosus. What was that?
So it's when you have suffered physical, legal damage, but you have not really lost anything in a physical sense.
Just say it
They
again.
denied you to vote, but the candidate you wanted to vote anyway won.
Okay.
So if you go to court, they denied me to vote, compensate me. What exactly did you lose?
Damosus.
So damnum sign injury, that damage without legal injury. Or you can suffer legal injury without damage.
Okay.
So it was a way to say, even an administrator would say administratrix, words ending with X. So I was writing this morning telling people, stop feeding your chaos if you don't want it to continue being perpetuated in your realm. I thought I was talking normal language. So feeding chaos, perpetuating and realm.
So what change it to something else?
I usually follow up with an explaining sentence. That's what I had forgotten to do.
Okay.
So, it was to tell people what I meant to say there is, if you continue reacting to situations that lastly brought you down in the same way you reacted to the similar situation, you'll be brought down again. For example, every time you felt excited about a person, you started flirting them.
Yes.
Okay? So what we are discussing today is something that you have seen your friends do. Maybe your sister married and your brother is fast.
Yeah.
What you're discussing, you have seen it being done.
Yeah.
But you have also witnessed the chaos they live in. And you want a different life. You have to take a different path.
That's true.
The last reason you need, which you may not present to your parent, why you should not move from your home to their home is sometimes you're not sure whether you want your home even. It's a reason that is taboo to say.
Yeah.
Whether you are okay. What is home? Sometimes marriage looks like confinement. Sometimes the path to your destiny requires a stretch of 10 years on your own, which is very antisocial. Why don't you get married? Were you raised properly? Are you straight?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I asked you how many lives of Praveen Free touched in Africa?
Yeah. Many.
For choosing that life she chose.
Many.
I asked you how many people, Mother Teresa, there are people who delayed marriage, took a path of life that they sensed. They had the grace for that kind of calling. We still have people like Joshua Selman who are building us and changing nations for delaying that aspect of their life.
Yeah.
Mikali, sometimes I want you to move from your home to decide whether and when you want to get married.
That is so true.
When they insist,
Very true.
you live here when you're getting married, they're hurrying up. They're tying your freedom with marriage to make you get married quickly. Separate them. Go out there to decide what is this marriage after all. What kind of woman do I want? And it must die.
Is it a must?
Those are defiant, those that you can't think
Yes.
when you are in other people's marriage.
Yeah.
It's like you're questioning the validity of the institution that brought you. Which devil is this? You become a prayer item.
Yes.
You become oddly out of place.
Yeah.
Too grown. You're not bringing any news. But if you are living on your own, your friends who are living that way, they validate you. They validate you. Hey, girl, what's up?
Yes.
In fact, you tell them, I'm not there yet. I'm open to the idea, but
Yeah.
I'm not pursuing it actively. If I meet someone, I can consider, but if I don't, I am I'm fulfilled.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm changing lives.
Yeah.
I feel like I want this place quite some. And then later on, they hear, hey guys, the time is here. Then you surprise your family for having taken the route. And later on, they end up agreeing with you.
Yes.
What if you were still in their home? You'd have been rushed. People rush to marriage they're not thought of, because getting married was the only way to get out of their parents' house.
Yeah.
And they were suffocating. And they had tied freedom with marriage.
Yeah.
The third reason I want you to move out of your home, out of parents' home, to your own home, is so that the idea of marriage is not tied to your freedom.
Yes.
You can choose it when and even whether.
You want to.
If you want celibacy, if you want single period of whatever time that your destiny is beckoning you to, you don't have to explain it. You can take your time. I disappointed my people for very long, because from the time I graduated
Yes.
to the time I married, it was 7 long years. 7. Unexplained. Just appearing on that old uncle comes alone and disappears quickly. Never stays long enough. Uncle. Then your juniors have children.
Yes.
The uncle is older than mother and there's no family. Could I have stayed that long under people's roof?
No.
Coming home every day?
Nope.
Comments there, here and there. Comments. Will make you very uncomfortable.
Yes. Yes.
Not only parents, even relatives.
Yeah.
You can't stay with relatives.
Yeah.
So again, we are saying, it's so that you can decide when and whether, and we had said that before that, is to capture your own flavor.
Absolutely.
To flavor your life, to
Yeah.
shape it how you want, to change from the traditions of your parents that did not particularly relate to you. It was just what you had borrowed.
Yes.
And we said, if you do not, if you move straight from here to here, you do not know what kind of shelter you'd have wanted, what kind of standard of life. You might end up marrying like your mom's husband
Yes.
or your dad's wife.
Yes.
Because that's the marriage you'd seen.
Yeah.
You need a space here to decide. So marriages, okay, there was that one, there was it. So people can be liberal, they can go to. So what would I want myself? You need the kind of shelter you own. Don't move from other people's shelter to other people's shelter. Decide one you want in between. Yes.
Absolutely. And you know what? Experiments require both space and liberty. And you can't try many things if you have to explain each of them to someone. Can be very tiring and annoying. Also, you get to solidify the values you live by as a person, and you start implementing them in your lifestyle and associating with people who have them. Now imagine a simple thing like checking out many churches to find out one that you can connect with, like in a deep sense. It sounds very light, but it's very, very heavy. And this is too personal to do, and yet very difficult to explain to someone else. So once more, do not skip the personal growth phase, or else you'll go through life tied into situations you got into because you had not carved out your path in life.